at West. In the first game, the Fulton Falcons going up against Carnes High School. This was one of the better passing combos of the night. Carnes' Danny Clifton to Scott Ritter. They had a couple of nice catches in the game. The scoring drive, though, by Carnes was halted by Jeremy Harper of Fulton. He picks off the pass and then starts to rumble like a running back a little bit. As it turns out, neither team was able to score in the contest, although Brian Tate, one of the young players on the Fulton team, almost breaks away for a touchdown. This game ended in a 0-0 tie. Just not enough speed dragged down. The second game was between Powell and Farragut, two of the powerhouse teams in the area. Matt Lowe is the Powell quarterback. He's one of the highly touted players in the area. He plays defensive back, he returns punts, and he plays quarterback and shows some nifty running abilities. This puts Powell in a position to try and win the game late. They went for a field goal that was up and good, and Powell goes on to beat Farragut by a score of 3-0 behind the leadership of Matt Lowe. What that you wanted to accomplish in this game tonight?
We just wanted to work on our fundamentals and get tuned up for next week.
You came out, you made a couple of big plays on it. That's what you think you got to do this year for?
Oh, definitely. You just got to, keep going those little yards, and then sometime it's going to open up big.
Matt's a player. He's a great kid. He's a competitor, and I'm glad he's on our side. You know, he's just been around football all of his life, and he's a competitor. He loves the game, and he does. He takes charge when he goes out. And
so Powell won at 3-0. The last game of the night was West against Halls. Jamar Caldwell of West trying to break it. He was dragged down before he could get into the end zone as the defenses took over. Some turnovers made it interesting late as Spencer Thomas gets loose for Halls, trying to set up a game-winning field goal. Halls went for it, but the kick was blocked. That would have won it, and that game ended 0-0. The Jamborees and the KOC Kickoff Classic continues tomorrow night at Central High School.
Up here, Farragut coach Buddy Fisher calling for number 7. The Admirals facing off with Powell. Matt Lowe trying to get away from the heat. Farragut's Ryan McFalls drops him. Lowe just tucking it under next time and picks up a chunk and gets Powell into field goal range. And that sets up Bobby Gentry from close in. And he drills it home. The only score of the night as Powell beats Farragut 3-0. Halls and West, Coach Gary Shepard with another fine squad this season. The Red Devils defense not breaking or bending. Dwayne Holt puts the lick on him. West with a pretty good defense too. Kenyatta McDowell putting the helmet on him. Rebels just glad to be playing in front of some cheering fans.
Special, of course, playing at home, but anytime you get in front of this many people and everything, I think it helps. Especially when you've been up at camp and the only people watch you practice are cows. So, a lot different.
So you didn't hear any mooing in the stands tonight?
No, didn't hear any mooing, but we're a little short on milk.
Well, I hope he makes a run to the grocery store on the way home. Halls and West playing to a scoreless tie. More defense between Carnes and Fulton, or better yet, an offensive struggle. The name of the night, Kurt Cheverdecker of Fulton just rattles the Cheverdecker out of Matt Mock. Later, Carnes getting it going in the air. Danny Clifton hooking up with Scott Ritter. These two playing to another 0-0 tie. 4 more games are scheduled tomorrow night at Central.
Our first edition of Friday Night Football Frenzy this evening, and a big crowd on hand to watch the Gibbs High Eagles come out. And they played Webb tonight. This was a hard-hitting defensive struggle, just like the games last night at West. Only one field goal was scored there. This also a very defensive-minded football game between these two teams. And also, it's not just the defense handing out the licks. Watch this one given off by Rodney Whiteside, the tailback from Gibbs High School. This game ended, though, in a scoreless tie between Gibbs and Webb. The second game of the night was between Carter and Catholic. Dale Robinson for Carter had a good game, several good runs on the night, including a touchdown scoring one, the only touchdown of this game. He goes 30 yards on the scamper as Carter goes on to beat Catholic by the final of 8-0 in the second of 4 games tonight over at Central. Austin East and South Doyle, some spectacular plays in the game. Austin East able to move the football but could never get it into the end zone as the Roadrunners in South Doyle tied 0-0. In the final game of the night, Central against Bearden, and Warren Turner scores the first touchdown for the Bobcats in the game. And then the Central quarterback, Terry Carr, sets up this next score as he scrambles and gets it in position. Later, after that run, Rod Simon's able to put it in for the Bobcats as Central goes on tonight. They win it by a final score of 12-0 in high school football action around the area this evening. And also,
County Kickoff Classic continues, and Michael Smith with the stick right there for Bearden. The Bobcats will come back. Terry Carr with a pitch to Warren Turner. Yeah, for the touchdown. Dogs trying to get something going here, but Warren Turner will knock that ball loose. The Cats add another touchdown. This one goes to Rod Simmons. Central wins and looks impressive.
We've shown that we could do this. You know, if the kids get ready, the whole thing is getting them mentally prepared to play. And if they get prepared, we're going to be okay.
All right, the battle of the hyphens here, Austin East and South Doyle, and Coach Glasper looking on. The quarterback sneak goes nowhere. Jason Sams came up with a big tackle. AE in the passing game looking nice. Wow. Eric Jefferson on the receiving end. No score in this game. Blanks on the board, AE and South Doyle. Alcoa and Sevier County were doing battle in Blount County tonight, had their jamboree down there, and this turns out to be, well, a pretty good one. Those Tornadoes looking on from the sideline. And how about Chuck Wembley striking first? It's Kenny Robinson, and Coach Phelps loves what he sees. Sevier County's Jeremy Bates, though, with a nice, nifty step right there, gets it outside, finally pushed out of bounds. Alcoa squeaks by in this game. 14-13 is your final. Maryville and Seymour. Nice Mohawks, ready for the season, right? Strong defense in this game. Watch the pick right there by Thurman Bates of Maryville, and that crowd just waving those flags. Gary Sennett with a nice run for Seymour right here. Maryville wins this one 14-7.
We've had a lot of hot scrimmages this year, and we've scrimmaged some three-way scrimmages, and every time we've went anywhere, you know, we've been ready to play.
All right, let's check out the rest of the scores from the high school jamborees tonight over there in Blount County. Heritage with the win over Greenback, William Blount and Gatlinburg Pittman scoreless. Also, Lenore City 7-0, Sweetwater over Polk County. Madisonville in a low-scoring game with Loudon. McMinn 3-0 with Meigs County. Most of these teams